Good morning. Welcome to the Delhi Current Affairs discussion. So the first topic is an achievement in science and technology. So context: recently, a group of researchers from the Tel Aviv University in Israel reported that they have been able to pick up distress noise made by plants. Very interesting. What? They are able to pick up distress noise made by plants. The researchers said these plants had been making very distinct high-pitched sound in the ultrasonic range when faced with some kind of stress, like when they are in need of water, or any sort of stress like when they need water. They make some distressing sound, distinct high-pitched sound. This was the first time that plant had been cut making any kind of noise, and the breakthrough research finding made global headlines. But many Indians just had a sense of deja vu on this, because their achievement, or their what they said earlier, has been recognized by the scientific community using latest tool and technology. Several previous generations of Indians had grown up hearing that Jagdish Chandra Bose had shown more than a century ago that plants experience sensations and were able to feel pleasure and pain just like animals. What? So an Indian scientist, Jagdish Chandra Bose, has shown up more than a century ago. Okay, that plant experience sensations and were able to feel pleasure and pain just like animals. Children were often advised not to pluck leaves, flowers, or twigs because they could cause pain to the plants or tree. That is because we tell that they have a life also. Okay, and any sort of harm to them gives them pain. Okay, this is in our culture, this is in our mythology. Okay, so because in mythology so many gods and goddesses have come out of plants. Okay, the discovery that plant cry in distress therefore did not come as much a surprise to them. That means the Indian, because earlier, so in Indian they have already told that, so this is the life of the plants, and they can cry, they can make sound when they are in pain. It seems just a logical extension of the Jagat Chandra Bose work, what it told hundreds years back. Bose might not be very familiar name to the current generation, but he is a colossal figure of Indian science, a psychicist, a physicist turned biologist. Bose, who lived between 1858 and 1937, made pioneering contribution in both the fields and was the first Indian to have made a powerful impact on modern science. Okay, Bose might not be very familiar name to the current generation, but he is a colossal figure in Indian science, a physicist and biologist. Bose, who lived between 1858 to 1937, made pioneering contribution in both the fields and was the first Indian to have made a powerful impact on modern science. Much before Srinivas Ramanujan, C.V. Raman, and Satyendranath Bose, a student of Jagdish, arrived on the scene. Jagdish Chandra Bose could very well have been India's first Nobel Prize winner, ahead of his lifelong friend and confidant Rabindranath Tagore, with whom he used to have a prolific and often poetic correspondence. Okay, what is the contribution of Bose in science? Jagdish Chandra Bose is remembered for two things. He worked on wireless transmission of signals and the physiology of plants. So both the things, that as a physicist, he worked on the transmission of signals, wireless signals, and also as a physiology of plants as a botanist. He is also credited as one of the first contributor to solid state physics. Okay, so diversified personality in science. Sir Newell Moott, Nobel Prize winner in 1977, is said to have remarked that Bose was at least 60 years ahead of his time, and he had anticipated the P-type and N-type semiconductors, according to a account in Remembering J.C. Bose, a 2009 publication by D.P. Sengupta and M.H. Engineer and V.A. Sarwar. Okay, Bose is widely believed to be the first one to generate electromagnetic signals in the microwave range. In 1895, just a year after he began his active research, he demonstrated before an audience in Kolkata how microwave could be used wirelessly to ring an electric bell on the other side of a building. He published as many as 12 papers on radio waves in the Proceeding of the Royal Society and many more in some other prestigious journals, as reported in the book Jagdish Chandra Bose and the Indian Response to Western Science by Subrata Dasgupta. He lectured on his work at some highly publicized scientific gathering in Europe in the presence of some of the leading scientists of the day. He was the first one to come up with radio receivers which enabled wireless telegraphy. Okay, Guglielmo Marconi, so who invented that radio? Okay, an Italian scientist who carried out the first transmission of signals, radio signals, across the Atlantic in 1901, is recognized as the sole inventor of radio. Marconi, along with another colleague, was awarded the 1909 Nobel Prize for work that Bose is known to have accomplished earlier, but was not recognized. It was not just the bias, but as several accounts put it, reluctance on Bose's part to obtain patent for his work that deprived him from the Nobel Prize, because what he has invented long before Marconi, he has not patented in his name. Okay. Jagdish Chandra Bose wrote to Tagore about being approached by a big businessman in Europe with the offer to get his work patented. Bose not just rejected the offer, he felt disgusted at the idea of making money for science. Okay, because he don't have the means that his interpretation to earn money out of science. If only Tagore could witness the country's greed for money, Bose wrote to Tagore, what a dreadful, all-consuming disease it was. So that was what was the idea of Jagdish Chandra Bose. Okay, and he considered science for human welfare, not to earn money, as is being done presently. Any scientific research at present is tagged with a monetary return in term. Fine. Then his study on plants, Bose rather than abruptly changed track in the initial year of the 20th century and began to focus his attention on plants. Bose was extremely talented at picking electrical signals and other things. He was extremely creative at was making instruments. Bose was working with rudimentary facility and yet was able to build some remarkably sensitive instruments. He used these instruments to try and detect the finest signal from the plants. He was carrying over his skill from physics to probe the world of biology. Bose's contribution to the communication system in biology as well as physics are amazing. He devoted strong attention to studies on the biology of movements, feeling and nervous system. The word feeling was used for plants But clearly, this is a matter of semantics. Plants react both chemically and physically to touch, but use the word feeling or sensation as he know it is quite different. Fine. The simple experiments of both revealed a high degree of similarity in the response of plant and animal tissue to external stimuli. This principle was amply demonstrated later by biophysicists using highly sophisticated instruments. According to the author of Remembering J.C. Bose, in a way, Bose was possibly the world's first biophysicist, but some of his work became controversial as well, particularly when he claimed that not just plants, even inanimate inorganic matter could respond to stimulus, and that there was actually no sharp demarcation between living and non-living world. Okay, so because plants are living worlds, plants are not coming under the non-living worlds. But even Bose told that so plants have their own stimulus and they also can experience pain and pleasure. Such mental lapse have sometimes been attributed to Bose's deep conviction in Indian philosophy and his faith in universalism. Bose regarded plants to be the intermediates in a continuum that extended between animals and the non-living materials. He works on plants too was also not easily digested. Bose himself records the opposite he faced. In a letter to Tagore, he mentioned a lecture he was delivering in Europe. What is the content of the lecture? When I commented during my lecture at the Royal Society that plant which come between the living and the non-living provide similar response. Uh, John Budan Sanson, a leading physiologist of the time, told me that he had worked all his life with plants. Only mimosa, touch me, touch not, respond to touch. That ordinary plant should give electrical response in simple, impossible, it cannot be. Over the years, much of Bohr's work has been confirmed, though his genius is not always acknowledged. He was much ahead of his time. Many of his contemporaries did not fully understand him because they are unable to come to his knowledge. Okay, okay. So he was ahead of his time, and what he revealed hundreds years back, okay, are right now being proved right now. Okay, so over the years, much of Bose's work has been confirmed through, though his genius is not always acknowledged. He was much ahead of his time. Many of his contemporaries did not fully understand him. The recent discovery of distress noise from plant could lead to some exciting research in the field. Okay. Then the next topic is about is a law and policy issue called the civil union. Okay. A five-judge bench, the Supreme Court, by Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, began hearing a batch of petitions seeking legal recognition of same-sex marriage, while the Center to the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta contested the maintainability of the petition and also judiciary's right to confer legal recognition to socio-legal institutions or marriage or like marriage. The Chief Justice clarified that hearing scope could be limited to developing a notion of a civil union that finds legal recognition under the Special Marriage Act. Okay, what is then the issue of civil union? What is civil union? Civil union refers to the legal status that allows same-sex couple specific rights and responsibilities normally conferred upon married couples. So, civil union. Okay, what is civil union? I am repeating this. Civil union refer to the legal status that allow same-sex couples specific rights and responsibilities normally conferred upon married couples. Although a civil union resembles a marriage and brings with it employment, inheritance, property, and parental rights, there is some difference between the two. Okay, how is a civil union different from marriage? In the year 2015, the Supreme Court of the United States legalized same-sex marriage across the nation with its landmark ruling, the Burgett Fall versus Hoges. Prior to the 2015 ruling, a majority of the US states had civil union law that allowed same-sex couple to marry without providing them formal recognition of the same. This civil union could be accompanied by rights such as inheritance rights, employment benefit to spouses, joint parenting or joint ownership rights, and the right to abstain from testifying against one's partner. Similar to the spousal privilege given under Section 112 of the Indian Evidence Act when it comes to disclosure of communication between two spouses. A big difference between civil union and marriages was that the former was recognized solely by issuing states and not by federal law. This created a situation where such couple could not enjoy the benefit of being a civil union uniformly across all states, since the US had a system where states had to determine their own marriage law. This disparity of recognition existed. In the wake of the legalization of same-sex marriage, several civil unions were converted into marriages. Okay, what other country allows civil union? In the United States is just one of the countries that allows same-sex unions. Before 2009, the year that Sweden legalized same-sex marriage, the LGBTQ couple were there to apply for civil union and enjoy benefits such as the right to adopt. Because normally the same-sex couple are not allowed to adopt a child because in that country, although that marriage is permitted, but adopting the child is not accepted there. Okay. So, similarly, from 1993, couples in Norway enjoyed the right to enter into civil union, which gave away to a new law 15 years later, allowing such couples to marry, adopt, and undergo state-sponsored artificial insemination. In Austria, same-sex couple could form civil partnership between the year 2010 to 2017. However, this changed with a court ruling that deemed civil unions discriminatory in January 2019 when such marriages were legalized. Similarly, countries like Brazil, Uruguay, Andorra, and Chile had also recognized the right of same-sex couple to enter into civil unions, even before they formally recognized their legal rights to marriage. Then the next topic is an agricultural topic about the wheat blast. Scientists have warned that the fungus Magnaphore uh, forage, which is destroying South America's wheat crop, could spread worldwide. The pathogen affect the crop in a disease known as wheat blast. The seriousness of the disease is indicated by the fact that crops are burned to avoid this disease. Okay, Magna Porthe ojai originates South America, but serious case of infection have also been reported in Asia in 2016, Africa in 2018. Genomic analysis of the fungus sample from all the countries showed that these fungi are part of the same family. Wheat crop around the world are susceptible to the fungus. The pathogen is also resistant to fungicide. The biggest concern is that this fungus has the potential to affect not only wheat but also other major food crops. Okay, and that will totally affect the productivity. Need for accurate and early detection. Genomic surveillance allow for early and accurate detection of these, which can lead to the discovery of the origin of the disease and help create a prevention strategy. Magnapurthi orjai affects wild and cultivable grasses, most notably rice and wheat. Researchers first detected the pathogen in Brazilian wheat crop in 1980s. The fungus has since spread throughout South America. In some areas, the situation became so severe that fungus destroyed the entire crop. Fine. In that country. fungus has since spread throughout South America. In some areas, the situation became so severe that fungus destroyed the entire crop. After this, Asia's first outbreak of this pathogenic wheat blast was reported in Bangladesh in 2016. Wheat blast led to loss of 51% in crop yield that year in Bangladesh. And since that year, Bangladesh is facing a food crisis. 2 years later, an outbreak of this fungus was detected wheat crop in Zimbabwe, Zambia in Africa, which was the first time the pathogen was detected in Africa. However, it is not clear whether it is reached Zambia from Bangladesh or South America because of the import and export of wheat from Bangladesh and from America to around the world. This might have been traveled through that. In the recently study, scientists analyzed more than 500 samples of the fungus to understand the origin of the pathogen. Okay. This is the situation. Complete infection. Healthy wheat, partial infection, full infection. So that became completely destroyed. This fungus destroyed the entire wheat strain. Okay. This is what standing. So this show the picture. Okay. So this is on wheat. Similar thing also can happen in paddy, rice. Okay. Separate genomic sequencing of 71 sample also helped identify that wheat blast fungus detected in Bangladesh in 2016 and Zambia in 2018 belong to different branches of the disease lineage from South America. This suggests that the strain of wheat blast from South America independently reach Africa and Asia. Therefore, humans are likely transporting these pathogens somehow. According to study, importing infected seed is a possible outbreak source. Before the outbreak in Bangladesh, the country had received a large quantity of wheat seed from Brazil. However, this does not help accurately identify its origin, and the fungus lineage was found in Brazil as well as in Bolivia. Researchers are now using genomic information to monitor the spread of wheat blast throughout Bangladesh. Genomic analysis has highlighted the danger associated with the fungus. Research had shown that the fungus responsible for the outbreak is susceptible to certain fungicides, but laboratory experiments have shown that resistance can arise through spontaneous mutations. According to the research, the strain developed by cell cloning can acquire new characteristics by mixing with another genus of the fungus. The researcher found that the wheat blast strain may have interbreed with another strain infecting millet crop in Africa. And right now, as we are promoting millets from India and millet being promoted globally, so this is also chance that this this particular fungus can also affect the millet. The average yield loss due to pest and disease in wheat crop is more than 21%. Above all, changes in climate and rainfall pattern and increase in temperature are also causing heavy damage to crop, suggesting an impending crisis of food security. Crores of people can reach the brink of starvation due to a combined effort of these factors. In such a situation, efforts should be made to eliminate this pathogen wheat blast before it is too late. Fine. Then the next topic on preliminary is International Day for Monument and Sites (IDMS). World Heritage Day is celebrated every year on 18th April to preserve human heritage and to recognize all the efforts of relevant organizations. This day is dedicated to promoting the importance of cultural heritage and raising awareness about the need to preserve historical sites and monuments across the globe. The day celebrates the union and diverse cultural heritage across the world and encourages people to appreciate and safeguard it for future generations. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization has a total of 1154 monuments designated as World Heritage Site from all over the world. Apart from India, only Italy, Spain, Germany, China and France have 40 or more World Heritage Sites. Remember this? So, total 1154 monuments designated as World Heritage Sites from all over the world. Apart from India, and India, Italy, Spain, Germany, China, and France have 40 or more World Heritage Sites. And India has a quite good number of World Heritage Sites. And in Odisha also, the only Sun Temple at Kunar has been added as a World Heritage Site of UNESCO. Okay, as a cultural heritage site. So Agra Fort, the Ajanta Caves in Maharashtra, the Ellora Caves of Maharashtra, the Taj Mahal, Uttar Pradesh, and Agra, the group of monuments at Mahabalipuram in Tamil Nadu, the Sun Temple of Konark, the only monument, okay, in Odisha, which has got the UNESCO tag, okay. Kaziranga National Park, it is the natural heritage site, okay. Kalido National Park, natural. Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, natural. Churches of the communities of Goa, it is cultural, fine. So, history and significance. The International Council for Monument and Sites, ICOMS, proposed the idea of World Heritage Day in 1982, and it was approved by the UNESCO General Conference in the following year. The first World Heritage Day was celebrated in 1983, and since then it has become an important event for promoting awareness about cultural heritage. The main aim of this day is to increase awareness about the importance of preserving cultural heritage sites and monuments. The day provides an opportunity to highlight the value of cultural heritage and the need to protect it from damage or destruction due to natural disasters, human activities, or urbanization. The theme for World Heritage Day 2023 is Heritage Changes. The theme for World Heritage Day 2023 is focus on the crucial issue of climate action and its relation to cultural heritage. Fine. So through this, so they want to add some sites which will be preserved. The Fatehpur Sikri, the group of monuments at Hampi in Karnataka, the Khajuraho group of monuments in Madhya Pradesh, okay, the Elephanta Cave of Maharashtra, so highest number of that UNESCO sites are in Maharashtra. Okay, and the great living Chola temples of Tamil Nadu, the group of monument at Patakada in Karnataka. Okay, the Sundarban National Park is a natural sites. Nanda Devi and the Valley of Flowers is a natural site. Buddhist monument at Sanchi in Madhya Pradesh is a cultural site. The Humayun Tomb at Delhi is a cultural site. Okay. Importance of World Heritage Sites. World Heritage Sites are places of exceptional cultural and natural significance and have recognized by UNESCO for their outstanding universal value. These sites include ancient ruins, historical monuments, natural landscapes, and cultural practices. World Heritage Sites are important because they provide a unique insight into the history and culture of a country or region. They are often popular tourist destinations and can help to boost the local economy. However, they should be protected and preserved to ensure their continued existence for future generations. Okay, some other sites like the Qutub Minar, the mountain railway of India, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh. Okay, the Mahabodhi temple complex. Okay, the rock shelters of the Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, the Champaran, Pavagad archaeological park in Gujarat. Okay, then the Chhatrapati Shivaji terminus, formerly the Victoria terminus of Maharashtra. Okay, Red Fort complex, Jantar Mantar, Western Ghats, natural sites, Hill Fort of the Rajasthan as a cultural sites. Okay, then Great Himalayan National Park is a natural sites. Rani Ki Bhav, a cultural site. Okay, archaeological gate of the Nalanda. Okay, so that Kanchenjunga National Park, natural site. That complex to capital of Chandigarh. Okay, historic city of the Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Okay, in the Victorian Gothic art and de-establishment of the Mumbai. Okay, Jaipur city, Dholamira, Karnataka, Rudraswaram. Okay, the preservation of World Heritage Site. The preservation of World Heritage Site is essential to ensure that they continue to provide insight into our past and cultural heritage. This can be achieved through a variety of measures such as conservation and restoration of buildings and structures. This involves repairing and maintaining historical buildings and structure to ensure their longevity, protection and management of natural sites. This involves managing natural sites such as the national park to ensure that they remain intact and free from human disturbances. Education and awareness raising. This involves educating people about the significance of cultural heritage and the need to protect it. Funding and support. This involves providing financial support and resources to ensure that cultural heritage sites are properly maintained and preserved. Okay. The next topic here that we want to take each the National Health Authority invites participation. The National Health Claims Exchange (CX) National Health Authority invites participation on the National Health Claim Exchange (SCX) sandbox under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. The Ayushman Bharat is a program for health insurance, but Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission is a mission launched by the government to maintain a health repository of each and every individual Indian citizen. Okay, what? Complete health repository of all Indians. National Health Authority has been collaborating with Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India for developing the health claim exchange. The National Health Authority announced HCX as a new initiative under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. National Health Authority will start using the exchange for processing claim under Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Thereafter, the exchange will be open for insurance players, hospitals, and software vendors, among others. After the database is maintained, this will have its multiple use. The current health insurance claim settlement process in the country is mostly manual, non-digital, and laborious in nature, posing challenges at every stage. The current process of exchanging claims lack standardization, leading to high cost of processing each claim. Okay, at the insurance side. To tackle these key challenges and streamline the process of claim settlement, the National Health Authority has developed SCX to enable interoperability of health claims. What is it and how it will operate? The SCX serves as a protocol for exchanging claims related information among various actors, including payers, providers, beneficiaries, regulators, and observers. It is designed to be interoperable, machine readable, auditable, and verifiable, which helps ensure that the information being exchanged is accurate and trustworthy. SCX will also act as a gateway with validation and routing capability for the ecosystem. There are two sides to health claim exchanges. One is the provider side, which are basically hospitals who provide services. Another is the payer side, which are insurance company and state government who do the payment. Okay, two things. One is the hospitals, which are basically hospitals provide the service, and another side is the insurance company and state government, because at times some insurance company make the payment, and in some cases the state government make the payment. Like in Odisha under the Biju Satya Kalyan Yojana, the state government make the payment. The HCX serves as a protocol for exchanging claim-related information among various actors, including payers, providers, beneficiary, regulators, and the observers. It is designed to be interoperable, machine-readable, auditable, and verifiable, which helps ensure that the information being exchanged is accurate and trustworthy. HCX will act as a gateway with validation and routing capability for the ecosystem. There are two sides to health claims exchange. One is the provider side, which are basically hospitals who provide the services. Another pay side, which are insurance company and state government who do the payment. But in some cases, the insurance company, some cases the state government who make the direct payment. Health claim exchange will transform the way health insurance claims are processed at the digital platform, will reduce cost and waiting time for processing a claim. The SCX envisions to standardize the claims process by creating a transparent, okay, creating a transparent and rule-based platform that will enable faster claim processing and better patient experience. The National Health Authority has been constituted as an autonomous entity under the Society Registration Act 1860 for effective implementation of the PM Jan Arogya Yojana in alliance with the state governments. State Health Agency is the apex body of the state government responsible for implementing the uh, that PMJAY, okay, that Jan Arogya Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana in the state. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, popularly known as Ayushman Bharat, was launched in 2018. It aims to secure the life of 50 crore individuals that comprises of 10.75 crore poor families, including both rural and urban area, with a defined benefit cover of 5 lakhs per family. 10 crore families, 50 crore persons will be covered under the Pradhan Mantri Ayushman Bharat Yojana by a 5 lakh health insurance per annum in case of any secondary tertiary healthcare need. The scheme covers over nearly 40% of the population targeted towards poorest and the vulnerable. Then Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. The mission will create a seamless online platform through the provision of a wide range of data, information and infrastructure services, duly leveraging open, interoperable, standards-based digital systems. It will enable access and exchange of longitudinal health records of citizens with their consent. Key component of Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission: a health ID for every citizen that will also work at their health account, to which personal health records can be linked and viewed with the help of a mobile application. Healthcare professionals registry and healthcare facility registry that will act as a repository of all healthcare provisions across both modern and traditional system of medicine. Okay, then the next topic is about the Namami Gange, another government program. The 48th meeting. Okay. Yes. कौन है जी? Okay. So, the 40th meeting of the Executive Committee of the National Mission for Clean Ganga, Namami Gange, was held recently. 8 projects of around 638 crore were approved in the meeting. It is an integrated conservation mission approved as a flagship program by the Indian government in June 2014 with a budget outlay of 20,000 crore to accomplish the twin objective of effective abatement of pollution, conservation and rejuvenation of the national river Ganga. It is dynamic and evolving in nature to address the emerging need and priority of the rejuvenation of the river Ganga and its tributary. Because prior to this, we have the Ganga Action Plan by the previous government. Okay, different pages. GAP, Ganga Action Plan. It's been run since 1980 to clean the Ganga, but substantial progress is not to that an extent. The dynamic and evolving in nature to address the emerging needs and priority for the rejuvenation of the river Ganga and its tributaries. The main pillar of the Namami Ganga program are sewage treatment infrastructure, riverfront development. Okay, first is sewage treatment because unclean waters from the municipal sewage lead to the Ganga river. Okay, around the country in the all the Ganga basin states. So from the burning ghats etc. So they have to be clean and riverfront development. But the people because Ganga is a auspicious river, holy river, and many tourists visit the place. So riverfront development that is another priority area of the government. River surface cleaning. Okay, biodiversity, afforestation. Okay, like the Ganga Basin Afforestation Program, public awareness, industrial effluent monitoring because many industry located on the bank of river Ganga and in different towns, they release their effluents without treating them to the river. Since decades they are doing this, that is responsible for polluting the river. Then the Ganga Gram. Ganga Gram will be ecologically developed villages where all the ecological development and Ganga protection preservation activity will be undertaken with the support of the government. Fine. So this is what. Then coming to the question of the day, a new trend has emerged in India where organized gang, which primarily used to carry out extortion activity, are being used for drug trafficking and gun running. Discuss the security issue emanating from the terrorist drug nexus. Okay. According to the second ARC Administrative Reform Commission, narco-terrorism is the attempt by narcotic traffickers to influence the policies of the government through systematic threat or the use of violence. Narco-terrorism combines two criminal activity, drug trafficking and terrorist violence. Geographically, India is sandwiched between the Golden Crescent and the Golden Triangle. See, this is what. So, one is in the form of okay, golden triangle. Second is golden crescent. Okay. So India is sandwiched in the golden crescent. Okay. And made vulnerable to trafficking of narcotics. In recent times, a new trend emerging in India where organized gangs are getting hooked to terrorist network and being used for drug trafficking and gun running purposes. All the organized crime gangs are right now being engaged in drug running and in narco terrorism and by the terrorist group for arms running. Pakistan sponsored terrorism. Okay. Pakistan sponsored terrorism and drug terrorists. There have been several instances of narco seizure for militants in Kashmir. Lately, Pakistan seems to push especially heroin to Kashmir directly through the line of control. the Pakistani Inter-Service Intelligence, the security agency, and terrorist groups based in Pakistan and Afghanistan have aided and promoted the narcotics trade to fund anti-Indian activity. Okay, the Pakistan being a big place, Afghanistan being the major place for drug cultivation, opium, and processing. Pakistan is the route to push the drug to India. Increasing use of maritime routes for drug trafficking. According to the 2022 report by the Narcotics Control Bureau, drug trafficking through sea routes in Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal accounts for about 70% of the total illegal drug smuggled into India. Investigations have indicated the connection of drug traffickers from across borders with terrorist organizations like the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Hizbul Mujahideen. Challenges emanating from the use of dark net and cryptocurrencies. Studies reveal that 62% of the dark net is being used for illicit drug trafficking. Dark net markets are disrupting traditional drug market because of their anonymity and low risk. Cryptocurrency payment and doorstep delivery through courier services have made darknet transactions more attractive. Use of organized gangs by terrorists. Quick and more money is attracting organized gangs to drug trafficking activities. However, these gangs are getting into the trap of ISI and the Khalistani elements settled abroad, especially in Canada, Germany, UK, and USA. Challenges in the Northeast. The northeastern border also provides a secure channel for the movement of insurgents, narcotic trafficking, and gun running. The Saha and the Kachin province, Shan and Kachin province of Myanmar, bordering China, also both challenges. These heroin, metham, uh, methamphetamine producing areas have porous borders and under the control of rebel groups, indirectly supported by the Chinese. That is why they are able to put it. International drug cartel and linkages to terrorists. India has also become a hot destination for cocaine and supply of which is controlled by South American drug cartel. Recent investigations have revealed the connection of these cartels with the NRI based in Canada, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and several European countries. Okay, along with local drug lords and gangsters in India who have link with Khalistani terrorists and the ISI in Pakistan. The terrorist drug nexus is giving rise to new threat in the internal security domain of India. Measures such as international collaboration, creating awareness among the general public about drug abuse, deployment of anti-drone technology, and preparing a comprehensive policy on narcotics can help in tackling the issue in future. Okay, so coming to the MCQ discussion, in reference to Jagdish Chandra Bose, consider the following. Okay, he for the first time demonstrated that plants have feelings. It is correct. He invented the crystallograph, a device for measuring the growth of plants. That is also correct. He was responsible for the expansion of experimental science in India. So that is also correct. Both 1, 2, 3 are correct. So answer will be D. Consider the following statement with regard to Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Okay, PMJAY. The scheme was launched to achieve the mission vision of universal health coverage. It is a centrally sponsored scheme where the amount is shared in the center and the state in different ratio. It subsumed the scheme's Rashtriya Swasthya Bima Yojana. Under it, there are no restrictions on the number of family members, age, or gender. Because 10 crore families 50 crore population will be covered under the initial target. There is no limit on the number of family members. So all will be covered in the family below the four section. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are the right answer. So D is the option. With reference to World Heritage Day 2023, consider the following. The day was established by the UNESCO in 1982 during conference in Tunisia and was late approved by the International Council for Monuments and Sites in 1983. The theme for 2023 is Heritage for Generation. Okay, so here both are incorrect. Both 1 and 2 are incorrect. Okay, the term whip blast. The DG with white, it is related to wheat production. Okay, but can spread to other crops like your pulses, like other crops like your millet and even paddy rice. A river Hindon, upper mention Hindon is Jamuna. Okay, it is a tributary of Jamuna River. With reference to Namami Ganga program, consider the following statement. It is an integrated conservation mission approved as flagship program by the Indian government in June 2014. It aims to accomplish the twin objective of effective abatement of pollution, conservation and rejuvenation of national river Ganga. The United Nations has recognized the Namami Ganga initiative as one of the top 10 world restoration flagship to rejuvenate the natural world. So in this, both 1, 2, 3 all are correct. Which of the following ministries and lunch Sangathan say Samriddhi campaign to the Ministry of Rural Development, Union Minister of Rural Development. Bihu dance. Bihu dance is famous, an agrarian related dance, agricultural related dance in Assam. Telios 2 satellite. Telios 2 satellite belong to Singapore. And which of the following statement is correct about the killer electron? The electron trap in Earth outer radiation belt that can damage or kill satellite. Killer electron have been blamed for many spacecraft failure. Recently, scientists developed a shield called Halogen shield, which prevent killer electron penetrate into and accumulate inside the satellite. So here 1 and 2 are correct, but 3 is incorrect. This way, your discussion is over. Keep watching regularly every day to enrich yourself. Thank you.